Hey folks, Doug Blake with Body Design University. Welcome to another weekly study. Today we are going to talk about a question that was asked on the Facebook group that was related to the ABC approach, part of the mover method, the ACE mover method using the ABC approach. So asking open-ended questions, breaking down barriers, and then collaborating with the client. Something to keep in mind as we go over this is the material itself is not very challenging, but what we normally see is people get confused then when a question is asked related to this particular material. So I want to kind of help you to navigate through why the particular answer is the particular answer. And again, we see a lot of students engaging on questions like this, and there is some confusion. I just want to help you to see why ACE kind of does the questions the way they do them, chooses the answers the way they choose them. They actually make sense if you look at them and kind of spend a little bit of time with them. So the ACE mover method using the ABC approach. Here was the question. Let's go over this first. A certified trainer makes the following statement, and you'll notice that I've got it in red. So I've bolded it so that it should stand out to you. Early in a pre-participation health screening, which of the following is she trying to accomplish? So there is the question, right? That's the answers that we're looking for should match. Which of the following is she trying to accomplish? Okay. Managing your diabetes that's not relevant. That part of the question is not relevant. It's not even a question. It's a statement. The question that the trainer is asking is, how do you envision me helping to support your goals? See how I did that? How? And then here were the answers: breaking down any possible barriers, creating rapport, trying to collaborate on the client's goals, asking open-ended questions to get more detail. Okay, so here's the deal. Here's where people get confused. Is number one, breaking down any possible barriers is part of the ABC approach, breaking down barriers. So you're looking going, well, I know I saw that. Okay. By the way, the second is creating rapport. Well, aren't we supposed to create rapport? And the answer is absolutely yes. Okay, so you look and you go, wait a minute, I've seen that one too. And then the third one, trying to collaborate on the client's goals. Well, isn't that part of the ABC approach? And the answer is yes. Now you go, wait a minute, asking, oh my goodness, all four of these are part of what I read and studied with the ABC approach. Okay. Now, for those of you that have actually seen the question, or you looked on the Facebook, you actually looked at and saw the engagement that was occurring on the Facebook group. Let me kind of break it down for you. First off, the ABC approach is ask open-ended questions. Okay. Break down barriers and then collaborate with your client. Generally, it's the discussion of what the goals should be, and then ultimately the development of a strategy or plan to help them achieve it. But the first thing we're going to do, and by the way, the very, 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 very first thing you do is create and develop rapport. But here is the key to this, and this is why creating rapport, for instance, is not the answer. It's what I have in red. Following statement: early in a what? A health screening. You have already started the process of rapport. So that immediately removes this guy right here, creating rapport with the client. Okay. By the way, this is done in sequence. Ask open-ended questions. Why? We ask open-ended questions to get more detail from a comment or a previous question that we asked. Period. That's why you ask open-ended questions. You want to elaborate. I want you to tell me. And that's why this part of it, managing your diabetes, if I said that to somebody, so is managing your diabetes important to you? That's a closed question. Yes or no? Well, the answer is yes. Fantastic. If I just stand there and look at my client, then I've got nothing more to say. Well, that's why now I ask an open-ended question to elaborate. Okay. Okay. So managing your diabetes is important to you. We've established that. Yes. Now I'm going to kind of ask and demand a little bit more detail. I want this individual to elaborate. And that's why we ask open-ended questions. And normally open-ended questions begin with how or why, sometimes what. But the point is that if you look at where you're at in the process, you've already started creating rapport with the client. You've already done that. That's a process now that you'll continue, but you've already started, you've already created the beginning of rapport. Where is the breaking down of possible barriers going to occur? It's going to occur after you ask. The third one is, when do you do your collaboration? Well, you're only going to do that after you've broken down any possible barriers to participation, which occurs after you've asked open-ended questions to what? Get more detail. Keep in mind, open-ended questions are what? Generally going to start with why or how and what. You could ask somebody, so what is it that you like about? Really, what you're saying is, why do you like that? What is it about exercise that you like? Or what is it about the goals that we're going to talk about? Okay, so you could use that. But normally we see why. Well, why is that important to you? Or how can we work together on this? Tell me your strategy or your goals or your plan. What do you think? Okay, there's the what. Okay, what, how, why? That's an open-ended question, because you can't answer it with yes or no. Remember, is doing this important? Yes. Is it something that you like to do? No. Right? That's closed. Those are closed questions. Yes or no. Open-ended allows for elaboration. Now I need more detail. So I want to actually know, what's your vision? How do you envision us doing this? Well, to be honest with you, Doug, I was hoping that we could do blah, blah. That's an open-ended question. Now I'm getting more detail. When I get that detail, now that's going to allow me to break down what I start to hear. Well, I can kind of like to do A, B, C, and D, but I don't like to. Well, there's a potential barrier that we can discuss. Now we can collaborate. So you can read through the actual method and the approach that ACE recommends. The point is that on this particular question, in red is giving you the answer. How always tells you that it's an open-ended question. It's also during the pre-participation health screening, early in the pre-participation health screening. That's where you're trying to get details. You haven't even started dealing with goals yet. Okay. We're just starting the process of talking about the goals, looking to break down any barriers so that ultimately I can collaborate on those goals that we've decided on. Now, open-ended questions are designed to provide additional details to a previous question or comment. Boom, there it is. Managing your diabetes is important to you. That is a previous comment. Now, it could have been a question. Is managing your diabetes important to you? So when we look at these type of questions, the concern that you may have is that they all look like information you got out of the particular chapter, and you would be correct. This is the A, B, C approach. And developing rapport is absolutely important, but creating rapport begins way before, okay? Long before you're doing your pre-participation health screening, okay? You've already gotten to the process, okay? So technically, trying to collaborate on the client's goals is way down the line. That would be the last thing that we would be doing. So the very first thing we're doing is asking an open-ended question to get more detail. By the way, ACE gave it to you right here. Managing your diabetes is important to you because why? Additional details to a previous question or comment. Look, I hope that this was helpful. The idea with some of these questions is that you're going through the material, you got it down pat, and then you see a question like that and it throws you off. And we see this all the time. Remember, if you have any questions, the way this particular student put this in there is perfect. You put it in there, show us what answer you put, and we can see the correct answer. If it's confusing, that's exactly why we do these weekly studies, so that we can kind of flesh out where the issues and problems were. If you have any more questions on this particular topic, just let us know. Remember, Corey and I do a Q&A, live Q&A every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come on in and ask us questions there. You can also look for the link as well, and actually send us questions that we'll answer in our Facebook Live, 2 p.m. on Wednesdays Eastern Standard Time. I hope that this particular study was helpful. Please let us know any other questions you may have on the materials. Remember, the goal is to help you to pass your ACE exam on the first attempt. Have a great weekend. Thanks.